Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Well, this is Tailoring Made Professional. While waiting for our tools that I'll be needing for the tutorials, I just want to keep myself busy. So that's why I'm taking these few little tutorials so as to pass time with. So today I'll be teaching you how to cut a shape placket. Yeah, this is for beginners to front opening like this one I'm wearing now. I want to show you the basic tips for sewing a placket neatly for beginners. So now let me flip the camera. So cutting a placket front opening. Number one, your placket should be the same length with your shirt length. Yeah, it should be the same length with your shirt length. Your front opening placket should be the same length with your shirt length. But to avoid errors occurring, you need to add 1 inch to your placket length. For example, your shirt length, if it's 25 inches, you just add 1 inch to your placket length. That should give you 26 inches for your placket length. So after the sewing, then you trim off to make it align with your shirt length. Okay. That is necessary only if you just want to avoid mistakes from your placket. You don't want it to be shorter than your shirt. It gives problem when it's shorter. You have to recut again. So to avoid that, maybe you should just make your placket length longer than your shirt length. Then after sewing, after joining, you just trim it off. So how to cut? Your fabric should be folded. Yeah, it should be on fold. Then you measure out 2 inches. You cut it out. So you cut out 2 inches on fold. If you are not on fold, then you are measuring out 4 inches. Yes, open will be 4 inches. On fold will be 2 inches. Yes. So you cut it out. After cutting it out, you add stay to the plackets you cut out. You get so as to enable stiffness, to enable balance. Yes, to avoid the placket shifting. So you have to add stay to it, to your placket before you cut out. After you cut out, and please, you're cutting two pieces out, 2 pieces of the placket. You're cutting it out. Yes, two. So you have to fold the edges of the placket by half an inch and iron flat. You iron it smoothly to get a neat finishing. So your placket finished. Your finished placket should be around 1.5 inches. Yeah, some people use 2 inches. Yeah, some people use 2 inches, and if they use 2 inches, it makes it bold. It still makes it professional though. When you are using a finished placket of 1.5 inches, it makes it look feminine. It makes it look professional too, but more feminine. You don't need a wide placket, a big placket. It's just normal. Okay, so you can use any of those. A finished placket with either 1.5 or 2 inches. So let me show you a sample of how to cut it. So let's say this is your placket. You measure out 2 inches. Let's say this is your placket. The width, this is the width, and this is the length from here to here. Let's say it's 26 inches, like I explained earlier. 1 inch longer than your shirt, so you can trim off after joining. So you measure 2 inches for your width. When you want to achieve a 1.5 inches finished placket, you measure 2 inches as your width. Yeah, adjust it and measure 2 inches, and then you cut out. You hold it and then you cut out. You cut out. So this is your placket. So after cutting out, you add stay to it. You add stay to it. Then after adding stay to it, you fold it half inch on both edge sides. Half inch here, half inch here. Then you iron flat to achieve a smooth placket. You iron flat. So this is it. You iron it flat. You see it? You iron flat. So that's all for now. And then how to attach your front to your front opening. Yeah. So before attaching to your front opening, make sure your folded placket you've achieved. Make sure you've achieved. Sorry, mine is not straight because I'm not comfortable. So make sure you achieve 1.5 inch, 1.5 inches finished placket before you attach. Do you understand? To your front opening. So when attaching the placket to the center front, first you have to mark the center front line on your shirt. Then place the placket piece facing the shirt fabric cross side. Then you sew it to the shirt using half-inch seam allowance. That means half-inch of the placket and half-inch of the shirt fabric will be the same seam. You understand? Which means you'll be holding half-inch for the placket and half-inch also for the main shirt fabric. Okay. You don't hold half-inch for the for the placket and then you hold to it, or you hold quarter-inch rather on your shirt. No, that is not a perfect way of sewing it. That is not. So this means you are sewing, you are holding half-inch allowance from your shirt and half-inch allowance from your placket when attaching your placket to your shirt. Don't hold half-inch on your placket and then hold half and quarter-inch and then hold quarter-inch on your shirt. So that's not the right way of joining it. So after sewing that, then you flip to the front, place it on the right side of the front and sew it on the shirt fabric by half-inch too. Yes, you hold it by half-inch too. You flip it like you are sewing a skirt, but some people do attach it all at once. Whereas on the placket, if it's folded, they will just attach it to the tip of the shirt of the front opening, and then they will sew it all at once, match it down. If you are perfect with that, all well and good. So after this, you top stitch it down. This hides the seam. Yes, it hides the sewing allowance and forms the clean placket. So let me give you a small professional tip. Before sewing the placket, always stitch the center front or press it slightly. This prevents the shirt front from stretching or becoming wavy. Before stitching, iron the front opening smoothly, iron it well, and then you stitch on it. After stitching, then you can add your placket to it. But first, stitching does not mean adding stay or fabric to your front opening. No, it simply means sewing a small straight stitch to hold the fabric in place so it doesn't stretch or lose shape. Yeah, so it doesn't stretch or lose shape. So what the stitching is? It is a single line of stitching sewn inside the seam allowance. I'm coming back to that before attaching another piece. Tailors use it on places like necklines, armholes, center fronts. That's before attaching plackets. So this keeps the fabric from stretching or shifting. It helps you hold the fabric. It helps you hold it from stretching, especially those silky fabrics. Yes, that is like it's slippery. It's slippery. It helps you hold it still from stretching, losing shape, shifting. Okay, so it helps you control the fabric. How to stitch on your shirt front opening before attaching plackets. First of all, mark the center front line. You mark the center front line. Sew a straight stitch about quarter-inch from that line. That was what I was coming back to. That I said earlier that I was coming back to. You hold quarter-inch. Don't hold half-inch. Don't forget, I said you are holding half-inch on your main shirt front opening if you want to attach the placket to it, because your placket is already folded by half an inch. You understand? So you are holding half-inch also if you want to attach it to your shirt. You understand? So if you want to stitch, instead of stitching on half an inch, don't do that. It will make your seam allowance, your sewing show after attaching your placket. There's no way you can control it. So instead of making such mistake, just sew by quarter-inch. That's to 8. Yes, half inch to 8. 1/4 inch from that line, sew from top to bottom. This stitch will not show after the placket is attached. It only helps the fabric stay firm and straight. So it is important to stay stitch. So stay stitching helps you control your fabric. It helps it look smooth. It helps it not look crooked. It helps it not look rough. Yes, it helps it just hold your fabric still, especially those what's it called, silky fabrics, touches material. You don't just add stay now to the main fabric. No, it makes that place look too stiff. So instead of that, just stitch, iron it smoothly, stitch on it before adding your placket to it. That gives you a neat finishing. So stay stitch is a control stitch, not adding extra fabric, not adding stay. No, that's not what stay stitching means. So you stay stitch by 1/8 on your finished placket. After you're done with it, let me show you. You are going to stay stitch again by 1/8. Let's say you're done. This is your full placket. You're done. So let's say this is the tip. This is the tip. So you come in from here, from the tip, you measure 1/8, then you measure another 1/8. It becomes 2 lines. Then you stay stitch on it, stay stitch on it. That's 2 stitch. Must run along the edges of the placket from the tip. You measure 1/8, you measure another 1/8, then you stay stitch on it, 2 lines. Okay. So this helps your finished placket to look neat and professional. But before I end this tutorial, let me show you what. So before I end this tutorial, let me just show you what 1/8 means. Although I will let you know all of this in our next classes, in our next tutorials, when I start the tutorials fully. So then let me show you what 1/8 means. From your tape, this is 1/8. We'll treat this tape reading in our other tutorials. This is 1/8. Yes, 1/8. This is 1/8 here. The first line on your tape is 1/8. This line is 1/8. Yeah, that's it. Please, if you find this helpful, this tutorial helpful, help us like, comment maybe, and please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss other classes. Thank you.